Hello, and welcome to Standing on Business 101. I am a massive fan of having strong boundaries, strong rules for yourself and for people that you date, okay? And right now, we're all referring to it as standing on business, meaning don't let people try to negotiate your boundaries. Now, really, this can show up in any part of your life, any kind of relationship, but I'm gonna be talking about romantic relationships in this video because we're mid-20s and in the trenches when it comes to dating. So I definitely in the summer had entertained a myriad of situationships, really only like, I would say 2 actual situationships, 2.5. And I thought at the time I was being open-minded to where things could go, right? And I think like a lot of times we're sort of brainwashed into this narrative that if you have loose boundaries and you're the cool girl effect has ruined our lives, right? And the cool girl effect is saying, oh, I'm chill. I'm actually not gonna ask for very much from you because I'm not looking for a relationship. If it happens, it happens. But I'm really chill and I'm not gonna press any time constraints or certain boundaries or rules on you because I'm too cool for that. And it's the death of us. You know what I mean? It's the death of the passionate Pisces. Like it's the antithesis of what I want to do and who I am, but it's what like the world has told us to do. I think standing on business is reclaiming of desire and protecting your desires, right? Protecting your heart, because you can fall into feelings for people who are not ready for that. But it's not even really about that for me. It's just about like wasting time and wasting like imagination, and like you may be thinking about what it would be like to be with this person that you're in a situationship with, even if you don't like super want to do that, just because they're in front of you, you're going to give a lot of times it's our nature to give people the best of us, even when they don't deserve it and when they haven't really asked for it or done things to prove that you can trust them with that. And so I think that's what situationships encourage. You know what I mean? They encourage you to give more than, like, one party is always sort of negotiating a boundary, I think. A lot of times, not always. And again, like, I've had situationships that were good for a time. And so I think that's what like can make it seem enticing, but I really think ultimately it's not for me right now. And like I was seeing someone for a lot of this past year who would take me on dates, like, you know, and like I'm still cool with this person, whatever. But I felt that I was getting more effort from this person than from some of my past relationships. So I was cool with it being a situationship because it was what it was. But then it ended because it's not sustainable. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not sustainable to go on the way that it is without some sort of like, for me anyways, I think without some sort of commitment. So needless to say, I've entered my standing on business era. This is how it's going so far, okay? Because I guess I've been leading with my intentions and I've been letting people slide away who just like show me quickly that they probably don't have the bandwidth to be what I need or keep up with what I'm asking or keep up with me in conversation. It could be a million different things, but I think we are often encouraged to let things run out, you know, give things a try and see where. I don't really think we need to be doing that too much at this point in time. If you're new to dating, yeah, maybe. If you're new to dating, sure, maybe, you know, the things that you are unsure about or like make you like ick. Maybe you don't really know what makes you ick and you're just like following what some of your friends have said makes them ick, and you should experience that for yourself. But once you can clock it from a mile away, I don't need to repeat the cycle. Do you know what I mean? Like, the thing is, and this is where the standing on business and holding your boundaries strong comes into play, because like a guy or a person, really, women can do this too, will make you feel crazy for having your boundaries. Like, they will try to gaslight you out of your standards as if like you don't know what standards are, and as if like they know better than you about how to advise you for your life and for your standards. And, you know, say your standard is like, I don't know, One that some people have, including myself, is like, if we're going to see each other on a certain day, if we make plans, stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. It's as simple as that. I don't really like this little like, oh, like, I'll let you know if I can make it because I'm running late from this unexpected thing that is like returning my friend's hat. Like, it's never like something important, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess sometimes it is, but that's not what I'm talking about. You know, when it's just flakiness and bad communication, that's a big boundary for me. So if I see that the effort is not made very clearly in the beginning, to be very, very thoughtful, because I have experienced that. And that's what I'm saying. Definitely go out and experience and make sure you know what you're looking for and know what it looks like and know what you don't want looks like and make informed boundaries. You know what I mean? But I have experienced enough people being like, hey, let's go here at this time. And then that happens. That's what I want. No one's going to gaslight me out of that because I know what it feels like. And I'm not naive enough now. I was before. Now I'm not naive enough for you to gaslight me out of that. Even though that's like what girlhood and womanhood is people trying to gaslight you out of your boundaries and be like, no, I don't think you really understand. No, I do understand and I've made a decision. Thank you. And like, you have every right to do that. And I'm working on self-validation right now as well. Cause you know, I grew up as an only child with anxiety and OCD and slightly emotionally avoidance in my parents. So that's what happens is you need a lot of reassurance. I need a lot of reassurance is what I'm saying. I've needed a lot of reassurance throughout my life. So that's something that can sometimes make my navigation system a little bit off, I think. And I'm trying to figure that out. Okay. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to work on that. But I know what I want looks like and feels like. And when it feels not like that, I'm going to cut it off quickly. Every time I haven't trusted my gut, I've so regretted it. And I wish I could go back in time. And it's like, you almost have those moments sometimes where you're like, there's a question mark in your head and you're not sure where the question mark is coming from, if it's coming from intuition or if it's coming from something like societal that has nothing to do with you, you know what I mean? And so sometimes that can be hard to differentiate if like my bad feeling is about this person or something else. And almost always my intuition told me that something was off for whatever reason. Like even before that bad date story from the other day, like I had a feeling, but I couldn't articulate it because on paper, everything was fine. But I just had a feeling and I wish I listened to it. But that's more an intuition thing. When I'm talking about standing on business, it's more like lack of effort, red flags is just the biggest thing for me. Or like if somebody cancels on me, like the first time that we're supposed to go on a date, I'm probably not gonna ever let them reschedule because I just like really hate that. I just really hate that. Or like certain ways of like speaking to me, like saying LOL chill, or like that's never been a person who's been for me as somebody who gaslights my feelings and makes me feel like they're invalid. And I don't need to keep fighting for that, and I don't need to fight for them to understand that. I can just leave. And I can leave quietly. And I think that's my other lesson is like, I need to start leaving quietly. I need to not like start with the paragraph. I'm an impulsive person, you know what I mean? So, and I'm articulate, and when I have thoughts in my head, sometimes I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And then after I was like, I didn't even care about this person enough to be putting in this much effort. Like literally the other day, somebody who I saw a couple times like months ago calls me out of the blue and is like, you know, what are you doing right now? I'm going to play pool with my guys, want to come? And I like already had plans with my friends. And I was like, bro, you've been like so distant, and then you just like want me to be like immediately available for you. And he's like, no, but I could say the same thing about you. And I'm like, no, you can't, because you kind of like were distant. Like we were talking. And to be fair though, like I never was like super duper driving with the personality. Like sometimes guys they're like more put together and they seem like they have more money, like just the personality, just if it's not there, it's not. I really can't fake it. Like I just don't care. Like if somebody's just not interesting to me, or I find them like this in conversation a little bit, or there's a lot of pushback, like it feels like a closed-mindedness sometimes. That's a little bit of what I was feeling, but like it wasn't bad enough that I would have like cut it off then, because like he was cute and like we did have some good conversation, but then there would be some points where I was like, what? I don't love the way you conversate. You know what I mean? And then so, you know, he calls me out of the blue and we had like kind of not been talking really. And then he's trying to put it on me like, oh, you stopped replying as much. And I was like, yeah, because you were not meeting my standards for communication that I was very clear about and you said you agreed with. So, however, this is actually a red flag I ignored, because he had said he doesn't like going back and forth and he doesn't like arguing. And if that ever happens where he's in a conversation with someone and they just go back and forth, he'll just walk away. That was a red flag to me, because I was like, sounds like you don't know how to communicate. Because whenever someone's like, I hate, I find whenever people are saying, oh, I hate arguing, I hate going back and forth, those people are avoidant. They're just avoidant. And I'm anxious. So that's not going to make sense. So that was already a red flag to me. But then anyway, so this person calls me and, you know, we start having that conversation about like, he's kind of blaming me and I'm kind of blaming him. And I'm telling him like, you know, you weren't meeting my standards, so whatever. And then it starts to go into a back and forth. And he's like, well, you blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, I don't want to go back and forth. We're not children. We're not children. I was like, I know. And I was like, stop. Like he said that 2 separate times when I was saying, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I'm trying to be honest with you about why I've pulled back. Do you want me to be honest with you, or do you want me, because if you continue the way we've been doing, like I'm just going to disappear. So I can either explain to you what's going on or I can ghost you. And then he's like, I don't want to go back and forth. Like, this is so childish. Like, let's stop being children. And I said, can you stop calling us children? And then he hung up. And then he texted me, you were being rude. And I said, okay, like, I can tell that you're not used to talking about things, like feelings or whatever. That's fine. I don't see how like anything gets done, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you didn't take accountability for anything, all this stuff. And I was like, I was baffled by the audacity, I would say. Goes back and forth. And then eventually he says, you know, I do apologize and you're right. I see what you're saying. Like, I wasn't putting in as much effort as I could have been. It was because of work. It's always, and I literally don't care. Like, and that's something I express. Like, I'm like, we're all busy. We all have things going on. We all have a phone. We all go to the bathroom with our phone. I mean, not everyone, but most of us do, be honest. You sit on the phone in your bathroom. Like, don't pretend that when somebody's on your mind, you don't hit them up when you can. So I don't really care. I don't really care if you're busy at work. Like, if you don't text me, I'm gone. If you don't communicate with me, I'm gone. If you don't make plans ahead of time, and I'm not saying you can't be spontaneous, but I'm saying if you're only hitting me up like at 3 a.m. or 1 a.m., like after you've already hung out with your friends, like I don't care. Do you know what I mean? And like I used to entertain that kind of behavior, but like I simply cannot be bothered anymore. What is wrong with you? I should be a priority. You should care enough to like make an intentional plan. A lot of people these days think they should deserve easy access to all caliber of women just because they can swipe it on their phone. You don't. And like, you're delusional if you think that you deserve like easy calling on me and like, I'll just show up whenever. I'm too old for that. I don't care anymore. I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're good looking. I don't care what kind of car you drive. If you're not giving me the attention that I want, bye. And like, I actually am able to do that probably more properly than I ever have in my life right now. So yeah, that's just something I've been working on and thinking about, and that's the era of my life that I'm in. And I have been, you know, having more intentional and better dates. And I will fill you in on those soon and as they come. But it's definitely been a lot better, and I definitely feel a lot I feel a lot better about it, and about my life, and about myself, and my time with myself, and my time with others. Like, I'm not just giving it away so freely just because, like, I feel like I should be dating, you know what I mean? Like, I'm only gonna go on a date now if I'm like, I could actually see myself liking this person. I can see there being like a better probability than a not probability. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think normally it's like, okay, they're cute enough, convenient enough, whatever it may be, like scheduling wise it works out, yada yada. They seem cool, but I'm gonna, I don't know, be making better selection and more vetting. And I already thought I was vetting, but now I'm vetting harder. I'm Captain Vetter right now. Let me know where you're at in your dating journey right now, and let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Kira Breaugh, and on Twitter at Kira Breaugh. On TikTok if you want to. Same. Everything is down below. Live, laugh, love. Goodbye.